Welcome to my home. Oh, it's not my home.
This is by far the worst deal.
What is this new version of Meghan that she's trying to sort of position? It feels very old school, regressive.
Hi, love. Why is it every time a black woman, every time black people, I'm so sorry. I should be more calm, more poised, more demure, okay? But anyway. Never did I think I would actually make a video about Meghan, but here we are. Thank you, haters. So, Meghan Sussex.
You know I'm Sussex now.
I feel like I'm saying that wrong. English is not my first language, I'm so sorry. But she has come out with a show called With Love Meghan, which I've definitely watched and absolutely love. And like always, I always see things and then I go on the internet and then you think there will be all this praise about how this is just amazing and so refreshing to see, especially in the world of just so much.
I'm a hairstylist and also
content or production about black women just doing the most. But anyway, Meghan hate is not anything new. So I had to ask my question, is this just normal hate? Or is there a deeper issue when it comes to how black women are in luxury, who refuse to struggle, refuse to give you that idea that you already have of how black women in luxury should act, or how black women should act in general? The way Meghan Markle triggers a lot of women needs to be studied, which is why I'm here, because it is not a normal type. And similarly, the way people treat Jackie Aina as well, we'll get into that later, but I see some similarities over there. But anyway, Meghan was loved before she got married to Harry. Everybody loved her. She was, your homegirl, relatable. And then as soon as their relationship was actually serious, and as soon as Harry was showing that he loves her and is willing to give up everything for her, that as much as everything else around them was pretty much struggle, they didn't have that typical struggle love. People started to hate that lady.
I'm gagging on the narcissism. Yesterday, she compared herself to Nelson Mandela. And now today, we have to deal with this. She can't understand why anybody would think she's a diva. I mean, let me count the ways. As, during the Queen's Jubilee, she's making sure to put the window down so everyone can get her photograph, right? As she's always got to be wearing Princess Diana's jewelry, as she's got to have just the right angle and photographer, and she'll only deal with this certain stenographer, press guy, Scobie, whatever his name is. She sues every magazine who writes something negative about her. She pulls the meanest comment about herself, tries to blow it up into what a victim she's been, because she's only used to the good things being said about her. I mean, the fact that she didn't want to live in the royal cottage and the Frogmore, it wasn't good enough for her. They had to redo it on the taxpayer dime. She didn't pay. All of it. I could keep going. And now to be like, the indignation.
You talking to me.
Thank God it was just about my appearance. Yeah, thank God. That I understand. Look at me.
And not just like normal Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez type of hate. I mean like actual blogs, actual newspaper businesses, actual news publications that you think wouldn't be talking about gossip and things like that would go on this rant on attacking this woman, and you'd be like, what the hell did she do?
And I started thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them that mad?
And every time you'd go on, try to research exactly what she did, and it's literally nothing.
Excuse me. And just the coughing, did you see the coughing? It was just like, you're so fake, okay? You're fake. I'm not a hater. I'm not like, okay, she's like beautiful and like smart and like, I'm not any of those things. I'm not hating. Okay, it's just like not relatable. I know that she's a princess. Okay, but like, we don't like her. It's not because she's black. It's not. I swear.
No one could actually point out exactly why they dislike her. It's always, I have a feeling about her. I don't like the way she talks. I don't like what she was wearing. She lies a lot. Her father as well, the crazy man.
You bake? Is that what it is? Because I don't believe that. You wear a ball gown? Okay, I guess that's true, but it's pretty much with somebody else's money and somebody else's styling. You stood up for women How again? Oh, when you were like 10, you didn't like a commercial and you said something about it? That was like 35 years ago and I'm supposed to be rooting. I don't get it. And I don't think other people are going to be attracted to her brand at all because it's fake. She earned nothing. She knows how to do nothing. And she stands for nothing other than one thing, Meghan Markle.
Out of touch, unlikable. I mean, nothing was ever really tangible. Not only that, this wasn't by just the mass. It was a lot of the British media and a lot of women. It wasn't like just everybody. You know, that's where you know, that's where you have to think, why is that? And the biggest thing was that she was being compared to Kate Middleton. Kate was being uplifted as, you know, the graceful royal wife, the standard, what a royal wife should be. And when Meghan would do the exact same things, even doing it 10 times more, because, you know, as black women, we have to do things
twice as good.
Twice as good as them to get half of what they have.
She would be said to be very manipulative, very tactical, very this and this and that. Her controlling Harry, all these narratives around her. And what's funny is that when Kate Middleton also got married, the British media also talked really negatively about her. So in the end, looking far from it, it's also about women. But today we want to specifically talk about black women in luxury and how they are treated. I mean, in reality, black women should not just get to be in luxury and embrace it and it be easy. It has to be earned. And once they've had it, they have to be humble. Never ever show off. Never even talk about how you have it easy. Because you have to stick to the script.
Clock it.
And when it comes to the show that she's doing, this type of lifestyle, type of content, this is not something new or something that is out of character for Meghan, because she has been doing blogs, talking about food, talking about travel, all that type of stuff. Now we're just seeing it in video form. Not only that, this is something that we've seen from all these type of women throughout history.
Some other iconic early 2000s Food Network stars. Our favorite alcoholic auntie, Miss Sandra. This woman taught me how to make a dinner party a theme, okay? I was 12 years old knowing what triple sec was because of her. This woman had me thinking that I could make anything. Recipes were so easy and she used to be running around that kitchen so fast. $40 a day show had a hold on me. I was in middle school like, you know what? I should take a trip to San Diego for the weekend. Down Home with the Neelys. This show was so comforting. I loved the food that they made. I loved them together. They were so sweet. I still to this day remember when it was announced that they broke up. I felt like my parents got divorced. And then we have Miss Giadia. She was everything. She would be cooking that food and be so passionate about it. She was always talking with her hands. I loved her. Pioneer woman. She's not an OG early 2000s Food Network star, but she's made her claim. I fuck with her heavy.
But suddenly when she's doing it, it's unrelatable. I mean, she's married to a prince. How relatable do you actually want her to be? Now, I'm sure we can notice a pattern. They trigger a lot of people, and not just women, right? They trigger quite a lot of people. Why is that? Because over the time, if we look at all the movies that we watch and see, especially when there's a black woman involved, even the show Scandal, I love the show Scandal, which shows Olivia Pope, who is also high-end, you know, classy and rich. There's a note of struggle that's in there, which makes it a little bit more palatable, I guess. And some people don't even like her because she knows who she is and knows that she has it, right? So when black women come on and just stand on business and just know their worth and have, you know, the coins to show it, it makes people a lot of comfortable, because that's not something that we're used to seeing. That's why I wanted to bring up Jackie Aina as well.
Is this ab getting banned or not? Anyway, that's beside the point. So listen, I've been avoiding talking about this lady for years because the discourse around, like, I'm a person, like, something needs to make sense in order for me to contribute to the discourse. Nothing about the way people talk about Meghan Markle makes sense. Excuse me, Meghan Sussex, because we respect people's names and titles in this household. But Why don't weird people know when they're being weird? The way people talk about her, the amount, like all she has to do is say, boo. Why don't weird people know when they're weird? The discourse surrounding her does not make sense. The punishment never fits the crime. She will do a crumb. She will do a crumb, and it causes pandemonium, chaos, destruction. She's a narcissist. She's a liar. What? I just literally saw an interview of her on the Drew Barrymore show, and it was like one of those like rapid fire question sessions, and Drew was asking her like all these questions, like personal things that like only she would know. People in the comments, she's a liar. How the hell do... I don't get it. Fun fact, me and her have the same birthday. Notice any reoccurring themes? Whoa, that vein. Just saying. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. And Bethany Frankel, I don't know why you follow me, but step up to the plate. If you knew how to Meghan Markle better than Meghan Markle, you would be married to the prince, but you're not. Who said that? Who said that? No, I'm just saying, like why? I have avoided that woman specifically talking about Meghan Sussex for a while. Like, genuinely gives me a headache. She won't stop. Like, Bethany, didn't you sell the Skinny Girl empire for like you got a pretty big chunk of change. Like, now I'm not saying that you're not doing that, but if she's not making the moves that you think she should be making, why don't you redirect that energy and start investing in like Black founders? Like, put your money where your mouth is. You should have listened to Omarosa. Remember when yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You should have listened to her when she said it, because everything is aligning with the advice that she gave you. She told you Black women have to work 10 times harder, because it's true. Because Meghan does not do enough for her to be driving y'all this insane. Like, it does not make it. Maybe because I'm a polarizing person and I know what it's like to trigger people from literally saying boo. I see that in her and I'm like, are y'all okay? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Like, mom, it's like scary. It is scary. Like, mommy, come pick me. Okay. Like, mommy, come pick me up. I'm scared.
I'm not just saying this because I'm a huge fan, by the way, but I've noticed that sometimes she gets just so much hate unnecessarily, and you can just see is that the commentary behind it is because they're envious of her, they're jealous of her, they believe that she doesn't deserve what she has, or they want the lifestyle that she has. They see all the accomplishments that she has, you know. I can write a whole book, you know. Okay, I probably can't. She can probably write a book of all the things that she's done that have just made her so successful. Like, behind all that, some of these people are just jealous. They're just jealous and don't want to accept that she can be as who she represents online. Because that's the thing, when a Black woman is out there being herself and being in luxury, people think it's a facade. People think it's unreal. It's unrelatable. They have to be all what the stereotype says about Black women for it to be real.
I'm not isolating this comment. I'm just using this as an example because this is a very popular sentiment to this particular conversation about how people online portray perfection. Are they portraying perfection, or do you think they're perfect? Which I do think there is some of that. There are a lot of people who are suffering silently and kind of posting through the motions. However, the best way I can give you an example of why I don't agree with the sentiment is your job, or if you're a student. You go to school with people, you know them on the surface, but you may not know what they're going through at home, in their relationships, parents. There's a million different things they could be going through. They show up and they come to work, they get the job done, and then they go home. And then they go back to their lives. Does that mean they're portraying anything? No, they show up to do the job and then they go back home. I'm not in the agreement that people need to post their trauma to prove they're human. I'm able to enjoy people's content without assuming they must have a perfect life, because I know that no one's life is perfect, no matter what they're posting. Everything that you post online has a footprint. Nothing gets deleted. We all know that. And I don't think strangers owe us their negative lives. I also do feel like this sentiment is popular because people, I hate to say this, sometimes tend to see what they want to see when it comes to things online. And we need to be able to like realistically remember this is still a person that has a life offline. They're showing us what they feel comfortable and confident showing us, and that's okay. It does not mean they're portraying anything. They're doing their job, and that's it. Take from it whatever you need.
Portraying perfection, or do you? Now, Miss Jackie, like, let's be for real. I'm gonna have to disagree with this take because as a content creator myself, you definitely pick and choose what you share.
So I actually have a take for both ladies, and y'all gonna have to watch both their videos for context because they both have a point, but the answer is simple to both. As the viewer, you need to know when you're the targeted audience. Like, so for example, in the young lady's comments who stitched Jackie, they were like, oh, steaming them sheets gets boring, like it's unrealistic, I don't want to watch that, I don't want to see that. If you notice that her content of her steaming her sheets is too repetitive, you are never her targeted audience. So what the young lady who stitched her video was saying, like, she wants to see more realistic content. Me personally, I follow Jackie and I love her content. Now, do I think she steams her sheets every day? Yes, actually I do. But do I think there are some days where she'll wait 20 or 30 minutes in her bed or walk around her house before she does it? Yes, but point being, she's still going to show herself doing it. So the realistic part of what the young lady was saying would be Jackie showing herself doing other things before she steams the sheets. But in all actuality, you're just not Jackie's targeted audience because she's not going to show you that. My point being, know when to just like something and just keep going. Because to follow somebody for something you've seen on your explore page, for you page, whatever, and then notice that it's too repetitive for you, or you don't like it, you don't think it's realistic, you think it's boring, and then harass them in the comments, is just weird. Everyone in the young lady's comments who stitched the video is not Jackie's targeted audience, and you can tell by what they're saying in the comments, they're not who she's looking to reach, and that is okay. Everything is just not for everybody, okay? So as a viewer, know when someone is targeting you. Know when someone is trying to say, like, hey, you're the type of viewer that I want on my page. And be okay when you're not. It's that simple. Love you.
And that's what I'm also saying with Meghan, that they're saying that, oh, her show is unrelatable, or is this and this and that, as if, you know, that's not her authentic life because it's that way. Just because it doesn't relate to you, or you can't imagine on your, you know, in your mind, doesn't mean that it's not real for them. And we also need to talk about the obsession with people wanting every single thing to be relatable. I mean, these are the same people that be like, I wish Beyonce would, like, share more about her life like Rihanna. If Beyonce was to share about her life, y'all would hate her the way you hate Meghan Markle, because you'd see that her life is not relatable, and that's okay. It can't be relatable where she is, right? Like, it can't. I was thinking of Lori Harvey as well. People always trying to bring her down because she supposedly dates a lot. She just dates like any normal 20-something-year-old, but because they are jealous of the status that she's in, the luxury that she's in, her self-confidence, they always try to bring her down because of that, you know, because they can't find anything else to fault her on. But really, it is just envy because it's a black woman that's not, you know, acting the way that we always see how black women are presented to be. Dive deep more into the history on why there's this type of mindset surrounding black women in luxury. So the basic discomfort of black women in luxury comes from history, colonialism, and classism. So we have like the mammy and also the Jezebel complex, and I want to talk about the mammy for a second. The mammy, that is the black woman that is the caregiver, advisor, the servants, the struggling, not the main character. And they would often be portrayed in movies just being the background. Even if the movie was about them, they'll always be the background. Like, for example, that movie, what is it called? Okay, I'm just gonna put it here, but like, do you see how the movie was about them, but like we didn't see much of them? Do you understand what I'm saying? Even again, Scandal, Olivia Pope, I should really do a deep analysis on that, because if you look at it like from another angle, Olivia is kind of that. She's the mammy of the group, because I think of how she takes care of the president, how she takes care of her group, that guy, that crazy guy. She's the caregiver, she's the advisor, she's everything. Having all that, and having that in the mindset of a lot of people, when they see someone not playing that role of being mammy or getting more spotlight than who they think should get more, they find that discomforting. With the British media, Kate was supposed to be the more popular one. The couple was supposed to be, the favorite. But when they saw people started to like them and love them and really appreciate them, they had to get this worm into the publications to make Meghan fit in that mammy narrative of being the background who just holds everything else together and not be the main character. And then there is the Jezebel part. There's this idea that if a black woman isn't struggling, she's definitely like manipulative. She's a gold digger.
Meghan Markle is one of the most ruthless social climbers I've ever met.
Do I think Meghan Markle is a social climber? Let's get into it. Many of you have messaged me recently saying, why haven't I done any Meghan Markle content, any royal content recently? And I needed a week or two off after the Queen's funeral, RIP the Queen. But now let's dive right in. The truth is, yes, I think Meghan Markle is a social climber, but that doesn't always have to have a negative connotation. Men have social climbed since the dawn of time, since they were Neanderthals looking for the biggest cave, the most sticks and stones, the most land to live on. Men have social climbed since forever. Every single president we have got there by social climbing and jumping over people and fighting to the top. Every CEO, every billionaire got there by social climbing and fighting to the top. Do I think Meghan put herself at the right place at the right time to date Harry? Of course, but if you had a chance to go on a date with Prince Harry, wouldn't you? If it was an arm reach, you would do whatever it took to go on a date with Prince Harry, if even just for the experience. I mean, Piers Morgan says he had a date with her that night and she blew him off to go meet Prince Harry, and I don't even blame the girl. I do think Meghan was acting a little bit when she said she didn't know anything about Harry and all she wanted to know was, is he nice? Like, I thought that was a little tricky. Like, you know who Prince Harry is, baby. But Meghan got her fairy tale wedding, her Prince Charming, she moved to the UK, and that's where things got a little bit interesting. Where I think Meghan stumbled is she underestimated the royal family's willingness to let them go. I think she thought she had a better hand than she did. She was like, there's no way they're going to let us just walk out and leave. They're going to give us what we want. And they said, no, you married the spare, not the heir. We'll see you later. Of course, there were so many other factors at play, and I'd have to make 100 videos to get into everything, so like and follow if you want to see more content like this. But yes, I do think Meghan Markle is a social climber, but she did it. And I think that word has different connotations for men and women, and that's the conversation we should be having. Because if a man social climbs, he's rewarded for it. If a woman social climbs, she's a snake. All right, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the flip side.
Meghan Markle's subtle yet powerful gestures, notably the pat of power, a parental and controlling hand on Prince Harry's back, raises much criticism. It is a nurturing gesture with a subtle guiding aspect, known as the pat of power. Meghan consistently deploys this gesture, from receptions in South Africa to their first engagement at Buckingham Palace. She extends her influence by also placing a hand on Harry's back during significant moments, like introducing baby Archie. Their willingness to defy royal norms by opting for more intimate displays, such as holding arms, amplifies the message of besotted romance and ownership, ensuring Meghan remains foremost in Harry's thoughts during their global engagements.
She does something sinister to get what she has, and we've definitely seen that with like in the 90s type of sitcoms. Whenever there was a black woman who was feminine, she was always hyper feminine and always was looking to get money, to get, perfect example, Tony from Girlfriends, right? She was always seen as someone we should not aim to be because of how she was portrayed. Like, she couldn't just like love fashion, love to be in luxury spaces, but she had to be or made to be seen as sort of like a Jezebel type or phenotype, right? When black women want and know what they deserve, when it comes to luxury, they're seen as evil and just, someone to be weary of. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're trying to make Meghan be. Like, she wormed her way into the palace, whatever, in the UK. You know, like, she just used her sorcery, whatever. You know, she's this wicked woman trying to take Prince Harry away from them because they believe that if it wasn't for her, they would have him for themselves. Ooh, I'm preaching. But like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not being crazy, right? I talk about how the media plays into this, or more like the algorithms play into this. I've noticed that whenever a black woman is under fire for basically anything, that always spreads so much faster than our counterparts. Whenever there's anything related to Meghan, it always spreads like wildfire, and it's always in a negative light. It just shows that the algorithms are honestly just against us regardless. Nowadays, I've spoken about this. Why haven't you watched this video about algorithms? I don't know, I should change the thumbnail or whatever, but like, YouTube's really been suppressing my videos. But anyway, let's go back to the topic. Algorithms are really feeding into negative content. Like, the negative you speak about someone or something, the better it goes. If I made a video talking about how I hated Meghan, do you know how I would probably gain another 50k subscribers because I'm a black woman speaking badly about a black woman? The women would have felt like, okay, so we're not crazy, right? You know, something like that. A lot of people and content creators know that. They know that Meghan's name gets them money, and they just jump on it. Again, Jackie Aina as well, when the whole Big Five thing was happening, it spread like wildfire, or her supposedly blocking people spread like wildfire, because people are waiting. They are waiting, especially people that they find jealous of. They are waiting for them to just do something, and then they just go off. They just know that it brings them money. I've actually heard this, that whenever it's coming to the end of the month, people on TikTok start saying messy things because they know that they're gonna go viral and then, you know, get their paycheck, you know. So that can be also part of it, which always makes me wonder if any of the hate sometimes is actually genuine, or it's just like what's trending right now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, just to wrap up this video, because it's gonna take a whole 2 hours, I'll probably edit down some of the things. But anyway, black women deserve luxury in peace, period. And they don't have to constantly come on here and justify it, or feel the pressure to air out their dirty laundry or whatever is happening that's personal to them, just to show that they are relatable. Like, sometimes they are literally living their life that they're showing us, and that's okay. There's no fakeness behind it. It is what it is. It is what you want them to do. Okay? So the next time you feel like tearing down a black woman that's in luxury, or black woman that's rich, you have to ask yourself, why her? Why not the other thousands of celebrities that we have that are rich? Why aren't they out of touch? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it just Meghan that's out of touch? Like, weren't y'all making, like, you know, those edits of Melanie, Donald Trump's wife, and be like, oh, she's so relatable. Oh, she hates him. She's so relatable. Like, what? Like that, you find her relatable. Okay, interesting. Anyway, tell me down in the description, do you think that Meghan deserves all this hate? Are you interested in her show? If you aren't, why not? And are you watching it even though you hate it? Why are you watching it? Why do you think black women make people so uncomfortable when they are in luxury and when they are rich? But yeah, as for me, I'm watching her show and I'm loving it. Especially also making those sandwiches and just like speaking in detail about, you know, creating a nice environment for your visitors, always having food. Like, those are all, like, everybody, what do you mean that's unrelatable? Like, I'm hoping my mom will come when I give birth. So I'm literally gonna prepare her room and like be more thoughtful on what I prepare for her, you know, like a little package. I would have never thought of that. It wasn't for Meghan Markle. So like, thanks sis, you know, like, y'all so weird sometimes. But anyway, bye.